Hello and welcome to another episode of Workshop Wednesday, Tool of the Month. And this is the first one of this year. We are back with this series now that we've got a bit more time. And we've got a very exciting first episode for you here, as we will be reviewing this Seika mini electric chainsaw. Seika approached us and asked us whether we would like to review one of their mini electric chainsaws, and coincidentally we were actually looking for a mini chainsaw like this at the time, so we thought perfect timing, and of course we accepted. So here is the product, and we'll just take the cellophane off and then we can show you the products that are inside. Now, the mini chainsaw came in this larger box with quite a lot of packaging inside it. So that was very well packaged from Seika. Now let's have a look inside at some of the components in here. Now, here we have the battery and one of the tools that comes with the mini chainsaw. We'll go through what the tools are used for in a minute. Then there's also some chain oil, the charger here, which has a UK power supply socket on. I'm sure if you ordered this from the US website, you'd be able to get a US plug socket on there, or of course you could get an adapter. And then here we have the main body of the tool. We have everything unpackaged now, and in the bottom of the box was this instruction manual. But we'll get to that and some other stuff in a minute, because we're going to start with the battery. And we'd like to get this on charge as quick as possible, because usually the first charge on these power tool batteries is usually the longest, and we'd like to test this very soon. Now, this battery is the 18 volt 1.5 amp hour battery. Now, I believe this is the standard one in Europe, and in the US you get supplied with a 20 volt 1.5 amp hour battery. And this battery doesn't have a cradle to plug into. It has a charging port there, which the charger plugs into like so. And then on the plug here, there's an LED there, which I believe when I plug it in should go red, and then when it's finished charging will go green to show that it has finished. So if we just plug this in here, there we go, as we saw, red LED there, and that is now charging. Having now read through the instruction manual, it has on the front here some key information and a few fixes to possible problems, and it has all the key information and safety information, how to operate the tool, everything that you would expect from a good instructions manual in there. Now let's talk about some of the features of the chainsaw here. Now, it has this chain guard up here, which is spring loaded, so that it will stay down at all times unless you are cutting through a branch, at which point it might lift up if pushed by the branch, and then will go back down immediately after, so that wood chips won't go all in your eyes or anything. There's also this guard here, which is protecting your hand on the handle. Now, this is going to come in very useful, I think, for our usage of this, because a lot of the things we might be cutting might have brambles, so that will come in very handy. Now, on the trigger here, there is a push button safety, so you push that in and then you can engage the trigger. If you don't have that pushed in, the trigger does not engage, and therefore obviously the chainsaw does not spin at all. Something we did notice about this that may be a bit of an issue is if you're left-handed like the cameraman, you can see there's no safety button on this side, so you have to operate it in a right-handed fashion like that. The grip is very nice and comfortable, and as the name would suggest, very grippy. If we look at the back here, there's also this wrist strap so that you can hold it like that. And I'm not sure how often we'll actually use that. However, the good thing is it doesn't reach far enough to get anywhere near the chain, so nothing messy can happen with that. Now on to the maintenance and how to adjust this tool. Now, as you can see, we don't have the battery connected and therefore the power isn't on, which is the safe way to do it and as per the instruction manual. Now, to adjust the chain, the instruction manual says that when you're pulling on the bottom of the chain, you want to have 2 to 3 millimeters of movement there, which we've got. And if you didn't, then you'd get this spanner here, loosen this off, and then like all chainsaws, there's a screw there for adjustment, so you just adjust that whichever way is necessary for to get the 2 to 3 millimeters of movement on there. Now, for oiling the chain, it comes with this oil here, which is very helpful for people that may not have oil laying around to oil their tools with normally. Also, in the instructions, it does actually say to use vegetable oil when pruning fruit trees, as mineral oil could harm the tree, which is very helpful instructions from the manual. In the first place, we were looking for one of these mini chainsaws because normally when we were cutting limbs off of trees and things, we would use one of these, our big Stihl MS250 chainsaw, or our Makita 18 volt battery reciprocal saw. Now, these are a lot heavier than this Seika mini chainsaw, as you would imagine, and can be a bit of a handful to move around. The reciprocal saw, the blade on it can bind to sappier woods when you're cutting limbs off, and this becomes very uncomfortable to use the Makita sometimes. So we think our new Seika mini electric chainsaw should be a very good addition for when we're trying to do these jobs. Now, the battery has actually finished charging now, so we will just take this out and take the battery off the charger. And I'll just install the battery, fits in there nicely and nice and firmly. Now, with the battery fitted, it's got a very nice balance to it, very well balanced from the handle point, and we'll just give it a bit of a turn. Seems to be running very smoothly. So now we've showed you around the tool, we're going to head out into the garden and give it a bit of a test. Now, the tree that we need pruning is quite thick branches, so this is probably going to be testing the limits of what this is designed to do. So this will give this a good workout. So let's go. Sorry for the wind noise, but we'll just have to deal with it. I've got hand protection, ear protection, and pre-fitted eye protection, so we should be all good. Now, the challenge is we want to get rid of some of these lower branches on this tree because we haven't been able to get underneath it to mow the grass in recent years, and there's now these hedge plant things starting to grow underneath, which we very much do not want. So first thing, we'll just be taking out a few of these hedge plant things so I can get to the trunk. Won't be much of a test for the mini chainsaw, and then we can start going at some of these thicker branches. Now, for the first one, we're struggling to actually get in here, so I'm going to cut it a bit short, and then hopefully we'll have a bit more space to get to the other ones closer to the tree. that cut pretty well. We've done an undercut on this one, and it'll be the first one where we can actually get in close to it. So let's see how this cuts. That was quite a thick branch there, so it did coat pretty well. This one is probably on the limit of the saw, but we'll see how it does. There we go, that cut that very well. Very windy here, so we stopped filming, but we kept cutting a bit more. We've got all of the lower branches off of this tree now, and we've got a pile of hedge cuttings and a pile of limbs. And look at that monster limb. Let's come over here and have a quick look at this one. This we had to do from both sides, and as you can see, it is a monster, but the saw handled it pretty much with ease. So that we were very impressed by. But it's starting to get quite cold here now, so we are going to head back to the workshop and we'll give you some more information on the Seika mini electric chainsaw. Sorry again for the wind noise, and that made it quite difficult to film at times, but I don't think the videos fully showed just how much we cut with this saw and just how well it did. If we look at the saw, there are no obvious signs of wear or damage or anything. That obviously you can see some bits of sap and stuff from our usage, but no damage or anything, so that shows quite good build quality. And we were using it for on and off for about an hour, and we used it until the battery ran out, and that's back on charge. We're very impressed with how long that lasted with what we were using it for. Now, before we get to our conclusions on this tool, we'll just go over prices. Now, from Seika UK, you can buy this tool, as you saw in this video, for £79.99 sterling, £79.99. And from Seika US, you can get it for $89.99, I believe. And of course, as we said before, the US one comes with a 20-volt battery rather than the one that we have, which is 18 volt. Also, from Seika, for this tool you can get additional batteries, as well as other things such as additional chains and also a toolbox to keep it in. Now for our conclusions on this tool, and we will start off with the positives. Now, we like the safety guards a lot. This one here works very well, and also the grip guard. They were very effective, and I feel like with how long we were using this for, if there was any problems with them, we would have noticed. Also, the grip is very comfortable. Using that for about an hour, no pains or aches or anything, so that works very well. Also, the balance when you've got battery on there is very well balanced, and the weight of it is very nice. You can reach high up places to cut and don't really get arm ache while you're doing it. Also, the general performance of the saw was very impressive. We gave it a good workout, so that has the GTB seal of approval. And while we were giving it a good workout, the battery life was very impressive too. It lasted for quite a while. And as we commented on a minute ago, the build quality is very good too. No damage at all. And the only negative we can really pick out from this tool is, as we said before, if you're left-handed, there's no safety button on this side. However, as Dad pointed out to me off camera while we were doing some cutting, and he is left-handed and he gave this a try cutting, you can actually use your pointing finger there and your middle finger to cut using your left hand like that, if you wanted to, or switch and use it right-handedly, if that is the correct term. And this isn't really a negative, but if we were to recommend this tool to you, I would recommend that you get a second battery with it, because then you can be using it for a long amount of time. And with how long this battery lasted for us, you could be cutting for a very long time having 2 batteries. And we would like to take this opportunity to thank Seika for sending this tool to us. And seeing how it performed today, I would have no problem paying full price to this, and I have no problem recommending this to all of my viewers if you are looking for a tool like this. And in the description of this video, we have a few links of where you can buy this tool. The first one is an Amazon link. It is an affiliate link, so I do get a small commission from any purchases using that link, and it doesn't cost any more than if it wasn't an affiliate link. And the second link in the description is to Seika's website, where you can get more information on this tool, purchase them, and also get some of the additional things that I talked about earlier, like a second battery, additional chains, or a toolbox to put it in. And also, if you wanted to have a look at some other tools in their range, that is definitely the place to go. And what we've seen from this tool, Seika as a brand is a very good brand. And I'd like to thank you all for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed. Any questions, do feel free to ask in the comments. And the Seika Mini Electric Chainsaw has the GTB seal of approval. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.